Hello and welcome to Demystifying Divinity with Joanna and Jenny. And today we have a very special guest. We've got Rebecca Barron with us. Welcome to the show, Becky.
Hi,
Thank
Becky.
you. Thank you.
So great to have you here. Becky is a spiritual coach that helps people worldwide break into their hearts. You teach what you do, how you do it, and you help people with their blocks. So maybe you can tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Now, trigger warning, Becky had severe child abuse, which has led her to what she does now. She actually had an awakening moment in her early 20s on a beach. So maybe you could just quickly tell us your origin story and how you got here, please, Becky.
Yes, I can. Before this, I was quite normal, and I just got married, and we went off traveling, and used to work very, very hard. I still do, but no time to rest, and I didn't really know how to relax, and I had to on a beach in Timon in Malaysia. And in that time, I started to reflect and ask myself questions, and during that, like something massive just happened where my heart just opened up and a huge amount of energy started to flow through me. And it was so strong for about 6 weeks. And I'd realized I ignored, I wasn't really in contact with my heart before, to the extent that it was like I finally, like this energy started to come in and it was so wise, and it started to teach me about life and reality, and how reality is created, and how we are beings of light that live forever, and nothing really dies, it transforms, and lots of information came through. And then my life completely changed. So I was going to teach, and I am a teacher now, but I'm a teacher of connecting with yourself and connecting with your own heart. So I use my gifts to help people to see. My heart started to teach me about the brain and how the brain works, how beliefs affect us, how perceptions affect us, how perceptions are created. Started teaching me about the DNA, the heart, the deeper parts of the heart, the soul, to the oneness, and how we're here on a journey of understanding ourselves. So I just share all my knowledge and understandings, and people come to me for help in understanding themselves. And I can look at the brain and see where the traumas are, and because we're here to fully connect up to the body. That means fully connecting up to the brain. And so I started to learn, and with that learning and that sharing, I've also been attacked a lot. So there's been a lot of forces that haven't wanted me to do what I've come here to do. So I've also started to learn, I was very early on started to learn about that side. So I started to learn about the love and light community, how that was very infiltrated, how reality is run. It's very much infiltrated. And once you understand the brain, you can understand why reality is the way it is, and the people or the beings behind it. So I kind of just share everything that I learn, and kind of I'm on the quest with everybody else of understanding myself. So, and I created a Patreon channel and do lots of healing groups, and I teach and I do seminars and lots of things that go on. So yeah.
Beautiful.
And yeah, and the whole thing started, I mean, like you had extreme child abuse, right? And I know you don't have to tell the details or anything, but if you could just tell people what MKUltra is, because a lot of people don't even know what it is. That's how it started, right? Like that's how they got their claws into you, so to speak. Is that correct?
Yeah, so actually, everybody goes through MKUltra. The governments around the world do a huge MKUltra on us all through the
Yes.
terrorist attacks and everything like that. And through as I was getting attacked, I started to realize that the energetic attacks, so people coming up to me, to technology, all these things, they would go through trauma. So I'd get triggered really badly, and the weaknesses in me was the trauma that I'd suffered. And then so I had to heal the trauma. So when a huge amount of emotion would come up, I'd use my abilities to go back to the original. When did I first feel this? And then I would basically go through the same thing again, mentally and emotionally, to bring that little girl alive who'd been suppressed. So basically what they do is they traumatize you so much through horrendous trauma, and to split you from yourself. So split the mind from the energy of you. And then that creates it keeps the light in you suppressed, and it keeps the mental mind on survival mode. So you literally go into survival mode and lose who you are along the way. So part of my process was to heal. and it was so important to make me stronger, make my boundaries stronger. And and then through the memories coming back, I started to learn about the system, because I was programmed by, they think the head of it was the British royal family, and then uh, the handler worked for the Queen. So I met the Queen at rituals. I was passed over to Jimmy Savile, to Prince Philip, to traumatize me. There was kind of like a plan that was set for me, and learning about that along the way through the memories coming back and the healing coming back. So it's been kind of a very oh my god, well, if you've done healing, which I'm sure you had, it's very challenging. The memories were horrific, absolutely horrific. But it also, it's part of where everyone, when we have to heal our trauma, it connects us back to ourselves again and to our light. So more light comes in, that means more I could see myself more, and I could see reality more. So the reason they traumatize us so much is so it reduces our light, and then we don't see, we become blind, and they want that blindness so they can live in the shadows and do what they do. So I've learned all about the parasitic system that's suppressing humanity, and how they work. 'Cause they work differently to us. They're not like human. And I've also, as I've been learning, I've been sharing my learnings along the way.
Wow.
And so, like, not all of us have been MKUltra'd, but, like, on an individual level, but, like, as a society, like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
mind control us, basically,
yeah.
right? So, I mean, for someone that's been through it individually, let alone the rest of us who have been programmed by, religion, school system, whatever, I mean, it's kind of miraculous that you've healed, Becky. So,
Yeah,
wow.
it's
You're working on it still, right? We're all working on it.
yeah, work in progress. I'll tell you an example. I'd been through horrendous trauma in the morning, or in the day, I don't know if it's morning, but I was in a room, and they brought animals in. So a man would bring an animal in, kill the animal in front of me, and then I would be in there in the room, and I was about 5, 6 years old. So by the time that, like, the third, fourth animal was brought in, I was just completely detached and out of it. And then I was led to a car. I was in the back of the car, and I was led to Jimmy Savile's apartment. And in that apartment, I was raped. And then after the rape, he lay down, or he kneeled down next to my head and told me that I had killed the animals. And when I got this memory, a horrific memory back of what he had done to me, but I also understood that when I was in that place, my heart, my light was, I just didn't want to be in the body. Yeah. So I just could pull back from the body. And in that state, the reason they traumatized me so badly is because they wanted to put, your heart is your truth. It knows the truth. It's the truth of things. The mind, when it's not connected to the heart, it it searches for the truth, and we can search outside of ourselves for that truth. So the mind is very susceptible to believe lies when you have gone through a trauma. It's the most vulnerable time for the mind. And that's why they did it. So to get me very frightened of myself, that I was a killer, a murderer. And this is what they do, like the big terrorist attacks. So they terrorize a huge amount of people. And then the news tells us exactly what has happened, but it's false. It's not the truth. But people are so scared. They just believe, they just want a solution or understanding. The mind just wants an understanding of what's taking place. So that's why. When I got that memory back, I knew why they do what they do, the way they do it. And truth sets us free, which it does. So the truth is your heart, is the light of you, because although the light of you is in the body, it sees way beyond the body. It sees the whole of the energy system of this planet, in this universe, connected to everything that is. So and they don't want you to know that you are a being of light and you live forever, and it's so wise and intelligent, and you create your own reality. They don't want you to know that. So to keep you suppressed and keep your mind just in robot mode of work, pay the bills, look after the kids, whatever it is, and it's like a kind of groundhog day. That's what they want.
You're in survival mode, essentially. You're living in fear all the time. Yeah. Because what you were saying is, you were essentially saying, and I'm just, how I perceive it, is fear fractures us. And when we get fractured, we we move away from here.
Yeah.
And we go to this. And this wants to grab onto things.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Wow. May I ask a question?
You may.
When you, because I don't know, I've heard the term MKUltra, but I don't know anything about it other than it's some sort of manipulation that I don't know much about it. But you said something interesting. You said everybody goes through MKUltra. Can you, so like I haven't, I don't believe I have. So when you say everyone, do you mean like where you live, or what do you mean by that?
I mean, the governments do it to everybody. So they'll cause a terrorist attack, 9/11. They'll traumatize the whole of America and everyone around. And then the news will come in and tell you what's happened. Yeah. So that's kind of, I understood like why they do it that way, is to traumatize you so much that you become detached from your body. If it's, so it's, there's also deeper reasons why, if it's money and all those sort of things, power, but it's to get the power, power away from us, because we are the power, and so obviously they haven't gone through, thank God, go through what I've been through.
Right.
But it's like a watered down version of what.
Yeah.
We've all experienced it at some level, right?
Did your parents know about what was happening to you?
No. So the handler was, he was friends with the family.
With your family? Okay.
Yeah, with my family. And they basically they tried to destroy my family. So I wasn't responding very well to the mind programming. There was a ritual that was taking place at a manor house in Derbyshire. And, I broke out of the trance that I was supposed to be in, and I ran. At this ritual was Queen Elizabeth of many, and I humiliated the handler. And then life got really bad after that. So they took me out, but also, kind of took me out. It became personal to them. So I would spend a lot of time with this family, and my parents were going through a horrendous time. So my dad had alcohol problems. There was domestic violence in the house, and the family just basically broke down. And we didn't. So in that time of that, it was like, their destruction. It was very easy to get me. And also the school was involved, the school I went to. So I had programming at the school, I had programming at the BT Towers, the BBC, but he couldn't have me all the time. I remember he was taking me to a ritual in Derbyshire, and he was frustrated because he needed more time with me to break me more before I went to this ritual. So it was, I have no memories of my parents being involved or anything like that.
So it sounds from what you're saying is that, and I'm going to use that term very loosely, obviously, that you were a perfect candidate because you come from an environment that was not stable. Yeah. So you were already coming from a space where, correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably did not feel safety inside of yourself because of what was happening inside of your own family. Would that be correct to say?
I also think, knowing what I've been through in my life, my family was targeted. So the targeting was also the reason my family broke down. Do you know?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that was the cause. Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm just
but it's really interesting. So obviously I have people come to me and clients, and they've gone through similar, and they target a family, and so someone can get in to them. And a lot of the times the parents offer it's just here, but like also I've got the I thing, I've got Rhesus negative. There's stuff about me that they like in order for the programming. And also if I look at the history in the family, like my dad's, he's got a cousin worked at the Vatican. There's something, obviously it must be about my DNA. So yeah, it's the DNA. Our DNA has been tampered with. Everyone's DNA has been tampered with. We shouldn't be so many different pigmentations, vast different pigmentations on this planet. And that's been because of the tampering of our DNA. And what I understand is that they placed technology within the DNA. And that technology is what they like, because then they can get in and control a person. So if this this is a huge learning that I've had that's taken me years and years and years to learn. And that, so if there's technology in the DNA, which I see that everyone has type of technology, it's like a low self-worth, all these sort of things to enhance the negative frequencies that you have within you. They like that because then they can tap in to that individual as well. So the more technology, the more easy it is for them to control. So the people that go through really horrendous MKUltra, the parents think they're doing a good thing for the child because they're going to be in a position later on, either a political
I
position or
see. Now,
in a
okay.
yeah. So all the systems that we have, if it's political, medical, all the systems are there to control and dominate the human race. They are there because, and then the kids that are there to keep that alive. Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting, Becky, that now is the time that people are listening finally to survivors, because you've been labeled conspiracy theorists or whatever, you've been labeled people that have come forward and said their truth like this, right? And there's more and more and more survivor stories now, and people are listening. And now the Epstein files have come out. So what is it with this time in history that finally the truth is being revealed?
Well, the light is becoming empowered. And that is because we're waking up, not because of some random accident. The planet is woken up. And that means more light's coming to us, not just, and we are the bearers of that. It shines through our hearts. So we're following the planet. So when we're children, when we're little ones, we follow the frequency of our mother. And so if our mum happy high, the children go to that frequency. If your mum's depressed, the children still stay in that frequency because they want to be seen and they want to be, they need to be in contact with their mother. And if they go too high, the mum whacks them down. They need to be in the same frequency. And then as we become independent, we follow the frequency of the planet. So the planet Earth, which is also the universe, she projects this universe out from my learnings. From what I've learned, she's rising. So she's rising in frequency. And this is why people are waking up. And everything of deception, manipulation, deceit, and all this darkness that we've had is all coming to light in order to fall down. So the systems are going to fall down. And we'll be living in a world of truth, authenticity, of light, of understanding who we are, the magical beings that we are. So it's a really incredible time to be alive, amazing time to be alive.
Yeah. And I just want to go back to what Jenny was saying, is that you have been called many different names, I'm sure, because let's face it, and this is not my position, but yeah, there are people out there that will listen to you and say, well, what you're saying, like, that's just, it doesn't make sense. But here's the thing, whether someone believes in your actual story or not, it actually, everything what you're talking about boils down to one thing: how fear affects a human being.
Yeah.
And that when we live in fear, we are fractured,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of how it happened. I'm not dismissing, by the way, what you're saying. I'm just saying, if we take the story aside, if person doesn't believe in your story, the basic principle is that what you're talking about is how fear has affected you, and how fear affects every single human being. And when we live in fear, when we live in survival, we are more often than not disconnected from the heart. That's really what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it does go a lot deeper because our connection to our light is, because our light, if you're in a male body or a female body, it's female energy. It's the life force. And the mental side is masculine energy. So everything in our reality that is physical, the trees, the plant, our bodies, is masculine energy. So our perceptions of female and masculine energy has to respect and love one another. So if you've got an issue with your mother, you've got an issue with female energy, then your brain doesn't want to connect to your own feminine energy. And if your light, your feminine energy, has got an issue with masculine energy, then it doesn't want to connect to the brain. So then that separates us.
Yeah.
So what I do with people is, and this stems with the line of mother and dad. So your perceptions of that comes from mum and dad. Your perceptions aren't your own, the first perceptions, because we mimic the parents. So if mum thinks dad's a wonderful guy, then amazing. But if she's frightened of the father of her children, then the child becomes frightened of the brain, becomes frightened of being in the body. And so it's also a very big one is perceptions. And then, when we're not connected, we hold on to belief structures. So there's lots of belief structures, religion, angels, guides, all these sort of things that take away the power of us. And I think through the evolution of us, it's like, actually, we're the magical ones, we're the creators. So it's getting that, but we have to feel it. It's all right mentally knowing it, but feel it in our body to understand that. So people come to me and they've got problems, and it's like, okay, how they're creating it. They're creating it with their own frequency. So what's off here? And then it's lining them up. But fear is, I mean, it's acid to the heart. Fear is, but also we've lived on a planet that has been disempowered. She's been raped of her resources. She has been abused. She's been manipulated, and women have represented that. We've lived the same trauma as her. And men have been disempowered because they haven't had the light, so the masculine side, the mental side. So it's been on survival mode. So although you are you and I am me, we have been expressions of the universe, of what's happened in this universe, which is fascinating. So although it may feel very lonely and traumatized in our trauma, we're all dealing with the rejection, the loneliness, all these sort of things that we have to go back to in order to heal, to release.
It's a big part of your teaching, Becky, is the feminine and the masculine and the reparenting, the importance of reparenting yourself, right? So if you didn't have a good relationship with your mother or father, and then how the mother is the light and the father is the decoder, right? Like, so you really dig into that. And to quote you, quote, awakening is the moment your mind begins to listen to your heart, end quote. And we are awakening. And exactly like you're saying, right? Yeah. How do you do what you do, Becky? You look at people's brains, you go into the jungle, and
I do.
you decode left and right, and tell us how you do it.
So people come to me, and it depends what they've got. So if it's a medical problem, if it's a relationship problem, or something with themselves that's going on, and then I'll have a look and find out why that is, what's going on within them. Why that we create our own challenges in order to learn, in order to break free and bring more light in. So there's challenges that we create when, like, at school. And so that takes us out of victimhood. It's like, okay, we can do this. Like because obviously I talk to people that have past or connection, and outside of the body, the challenges that we have, obviously when we're here in the body and the challenges, it's like, wow, like, how am I going to get through this? But outside there, we realize the power of us. So they're not as challenging when you look at it from a different perspective. So it's just, I'm kind of like a light bulb. And I don't do anything. I don't heal. I just help them understand what they're in. You are the healer. Everyone else, you're your own healer, and give them that power and trust themselves to believe in themselves. There's two energies that open up your heart. One is, the line, making peace with the feminine energy. And that would be making peace and acceptance of other. But then the two energies that the system gets us to give them, which is trust and belief. Trust and believe the government, trust and believe in religion, trust and believe whatever, But if you trust and believe in yourself, that opens up your heart. More light comes in, because heart's like, gosh, I'm trusted and I believe I'm going to show what I can do. And my heart has taught me about the brain, and it's taught me about how consciousness works and reality and everything. But your heart will have different, it may want to teach you other things, So I just help people connect to the heart. And it's like, what does your heart want to teach you as well? But I do little steps like I teach people how to connect to their past lives, because you've got your human emotion, but if you go deeper, you've had many identities, loads of identities, and those identities will help you understand your identity here. And that sort of, it helps you to realize that I'm a multidimensional being, lived many times. So I help people also understand how to connect to their trauma and gain memories back, and also what I've found, what is dampened in people is their wants. Now, it's kind of been bashed by the religion or church, like, you can't want, but want is the foundation of reality, in the sense that if you want to be in life, you've got to want to be here. We are manifesting all the time. So what I find is that the heart is disempowered, and therefore it's not when people are not creating what they want. And then the mind just takes charge, because the heart's not speaking. And then we just end up, the mind is just, it holds everything that's happened in the past. So it just loops, and we just end up creating the same thing over again. So part of my teachings is also to help people really find out truly what they want. And that can be really vulnerable. You know, they may be in relationships they don't want to be in.
Yeah.
They may be in a job they don't want to be in. They've really got to face that.
Yeah. Would you say that the heart is not speaking, or would you say because people are disconnected from their body and therefore they're disconnected from the heart, they can't hear it, they don't trust what they hear, or just they don't know how to hear because they're in their heads?
Yeah. I think all of it.
Right, because in my work, which is closely related to how you work, just obviously in a different way, in a different flavor, the heart always speaks. But because most people are disconnected from their body, they're in their heads. And stories live in the head. Stories don't live in the heart, right? So when we're disconnected from the heart, it's not that the heart is not speaking. From my experience, it's that we're not hearing it, or we don't trust it, or we're afraid to trust it.
Yeah,
because
you can have a very sort of an abusive brain, you know,
absolutely,
self, and then it's like the heart becomes very scared and doesn't want to speak because it's like everything I say I'm going to get bashed for. Yeah, so I can see people with what called abuse victim mindset. And that's what I had, abuse victim mindset, you know. So it's like I've got to heal everything, you know. So if you've had abusive parents, then those frequencies stay within your mind until you look at them and transcend them and you know, come at peace and heal them. Or the frequencies of your people that have abuse stay with you. So you have to make peace with what's happened. So that abuse doesn't continue within you. So it can be, you know, the heart can be a very like abused wife at home and the mind's like bashing, you know, we've all done it. Like, oh God, I hate my life and why is this happening? And this is not fair and all these sort of things that we can do. So yeah, totally agree. So people just not connected or just don't hear, or they know deep down, but it's scary. You know, it's scary to live the life that you want once you don't get it. Oh, I don't know if I believe in myself. I don't know if I can, oh God, like, you know. And also, you know, if you've had like, you've been abandoned by your mum or you felt unloved by your mum, you don't want to go and experience that again. So the mind stays away from the feminine because it's like, I'm just going to get abandoned. Or so this is why we have to heal the energies with mum and dad and get to know them, because those energies, those frequencies of your mum and dad run through you. So you can have thoughts, emotions that are not even yours, they're your mum and dad. So we have to separate. So we naturally start to picking frequencies that we want. Well, I want that from my mum, I'll keep that from my dad, but I don't want the depression, you know, that runs through my family and that's been passed down. And I need to understand that that's not me. That's just what I felt as a child. And it's still within me because I don't fully understand it. So it's kind of like, I mean, I was kind of really blessed in the sense that my mum was psychic. So she was like this magical, and read palms and stuff. And I always wanted that. I never got it kind of thing. Like when I wanted it, it came when it came.
Yeah, when you were ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine having the psychic abilities on top of everything that you have been experiencing. I suspect it would have been too much for you. So it was almost like you were protected from all of that on top of everything else, because that's a lot. That's a lot to handle.
Well, what they did, they made me so frightened of myself because just, you know, as you know, the psychic side is the heart speaking to the mind. You know, the heart's connected to everything that is. So they just made me so scared of who I was. I was petrified of who I was. I wouldn't even go and see a hypnosis person, even though I was trained in it, because I was scared of what would come out of my mouth. The trauma made me so frightened. So the heart wouldn't speak because it was so frightened. When I obviously got more safer with myself, and then the heart started to really have a voice and I started to listen. But she'd been like unable to speak for years and years. So people feeling safe is fundamental in our growth. That is, you know, and then if you look at the governments and what they do, it's about stress, all these sort of things that they try to cause in order to knock us off our center.
Yeah. And especially what you were saying about the animals and your experience. And I don't know if you noticed what I did, but I had to actually look away. But basically, and these are my words, you were basically trained to believe that you were a monster.
Yeah.
I intimately know what that's like. So what do you... Oh, no, it's all good. I had that experience for a reason. But when you believe that you're a monster, what do you want to do? You want to get away from yourself.
Yes. your
So
clothes up.
literally, it's like, I don't want to be me, so I have to become somebody else. That's
Yeah.
literally preservation mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's quite
It's a
something.
miracle that you both have healed so much trauma. And now both of you teach others how to embrace their heart. I think it's absolutely amazing what you're both doing.
That's very
Thank you
sweet.
very much
Oh,
for sharing.
Yeah.
And I know like your latest breakthroughs, your latest ahas and teachable moments to a lot of your community is about the CIA. Now, again, this sounds like conspiracy theory stuff, but like what you're seeing is the control the CIA has had in three particular parts in this world. And it's fall. What you're seeing is it's falling. Do you want to tell the audience just a little bit about this?
yeah. So a lot of my learnings come from personal experience. So it's like angels and demons getting attacked by them, and then it like so they attacked, and I went into a relationship, and I found out it wasn't a real relationship; it was a handler. And then when I left him, courage to leave him, and I did, he started attacking. And then after he stopped attacking, I was still getting attacked. And it like technology. And it was so bad. I went to France because I realized when I left my house, the technology attacks kind of went down. It wasn't so bad. Me and the kids, we went to France, and in that time, I was able to find some sort of safety. And then I started to look at where are these attacks coming from, and I ended up in a base in Arizona, in America, and there was base 1, base 2.
You're talking
They
about like distance travel. What is it called?
remote viewing,
Astro,
Remote
yeah,
viewing. Okay, just for the
yeah,
audience,
Viewing,
she's
yeah.
meaning remote viewing. She
Okay.
does remote
yeah.
viewing. Okay, keep going, Becky.
So,
Sorry.
so I ended up in a base in Arizona, and what I saw is that I was being monitored and by the CIA. And then I all the attacks that I'd had were connected to the CIA. And then I saw that Queen. This can sound really crazy. I even going crazy. But in the programming, at the age of 7, Queen Elizabeth informed the CIA to monitor me, and so the attacks on my family, like all through my life. But I didn't realize until I woke up that. So, and then I saw the second base in Arizona, and America has controlled so many people. So you let people go into power, politicians and stuff, and they like a really nice guy, you know, they're
For
really good,
now.
and they
For
talk
now.
sense, for now, and then they go in, and it just turns to shite,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It's like what? So they hook into their brain, so the person becomes the puppet, and the puppeteers are the CIA. Now, with the CIA also connected to reptilians, so outside of this reality. So they work for the reptilians. I don't know the dynamic, but it's they're connected to the reptilians. So and then so you've got the American CIA, and then you've got a Russian one, and then you've got an Australian one, and they so we think like the wars around the world, it's kind of just show, because the real war is a technology war on people, and to keep you suppressed. And that I think I was doing a Q&A, and I think it was around Christmas, and I saw that the connections that the CIA have of the politicians, of everybody, basically, anybody of any, in the media importance, they deemed important, it would be lost. They would lose connections with the puppets. And I'm not fully I don't know fully how it's going to happen, but that connection is going to be lost, and then the puppets are going to fall. So the people are not speaking from their heart, because there's a lot of people that are not authentic. They're just getting the information from the CIA. They think they're talking to, it's all the people that talk about Galactic Federation, ETs, all these sort of things. They're actually just CIA frequencies going into their mind, and then they're expressing that. So with the Q&As that I do, people ask about this person and that person. I'm like, it's all information being channeled into their brain. It's not coming from the heart. So, and why do they do that? When someone's listening to someone that's expressing from the heart, it connects. We have this beautiful, it connects us up to our heart. But when someone's speaking from a mental side, it just keeps them in their brain. And that's why the difference. So you can say exactly the same words. Someone could say exactly the same words as you, but they could be speaking from the mental side. But someone's speaking from their heart, whatever
It
they're
feels
saying,
different. It feels
it's
different.
healing.
It feels
It's
You
different.
know it.
healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
know
feels,
Yeah.
it.
And that's what they want to stop. Yeah. So they'll put people out there to, you know, gurus or whatever it is, politicians and everything.
Yeah.
And
It's so interesting you say that because you're seeing a time frame of maybe July, and Joanna has seen a time frame, something in July, and it's interesting. Like, yeah,
Oh,
I know. It's
that's
very
so good.
we shall see. I definitely, before you go, Becky, we definitely want to talk about how you journey to Gaia. So you've just told us that you're a remote viewer. That's one of your many superpowers. And you use your heart. You just ask your heart to lead you somewhere, right? Whether you're looking at, what's actually who's running this world or whatever. And you
Yeah.
often do a heart journey to Gaia. Now, can you tell us a little bit about that? And maybe could you do a journey to Gaia?
You want me to do a journey? Yeah, sure. So, we are Gaia. We're Mother Earth. Because we're connected to this planet, we're part of her. All the animals are part of her. That energy's been rising. So we've been waking up too, when you, everything is an orb. So although, our energy's in this body, the soul is an orb, and it actually sits at the base of the spine, and it flows up the spine. The energy, the light flows up the spine, and the brain decodes it. And
fear keeps it down, by the way. Fear keeps it down.
Yeah. And then what was I going to say? So when we get closer and understanding ourselves, we go deeper and deeper into ourselves. We'll get to a core of ourselves, and so our brain starts to, over many, many years, starts to decode the core, which is like oneness. It's a piece that the heart has within, and I see that coming. More people connecting to that, and therefore they come more balanced and more at peace, and disconnect from the reality that we don't want. So you want me to do a journey?
We'd love to.
This is kind of so I do this on a QA. It's always this question comes up. So once we've done the conspiracy stuff, okay, so I'll do this. I wasn't expecting this, but okay. So this is kind of like collectively where the collective energies are. So I just connect with my heart and I go to that core, the core of myself, and that core leads us to everyone's core. It's the core of Mother Earth, because my core, we're all consciousness, we're all light, and we all come from the same place. We're experiencing individuality, but at the core, we're all connected there. So it doesn't matter if you're on Earth or you're on another planet, the core is still the same. So, but I'm going to stay in the planet of where we are, Mother Earth. So as I go there, I feel quite at peace. So the energy changes in the same that I could get more relaxed. And the Earth I see, which is an orb, like I don't never see a flat Earth, by the way. And she said the light is a heartbeat. So as I experience it, she pulses. It's like a pulse that comes through. And the energies go from there's lots of different frequencies. So you're like in the ocean, and it's like I can feel the happiness, and I can feel the joy, and I can feel a real lightness. Now, Mother Earth, we haven't always felt like this because we've been suppressed, we've been abused, we've been unenlightened, all these sort of things. So the energy that I feel is really, really good. And when I ask about this year and things moving. Maybe I asked about the CIA falling, because that would be amazing. What's happening is that the more responsibility that people individually take, you don't need to be responsible for other people, just responsible for yourself. The more you're clearing the atmosphere. So the energies that you have within, and the more that you want to heal and want better for yourself. So they're very important. The energy of want is getting increased in people. You want a better life. We do. We want a better life. And that energy empowers the heart to come forward, because the heart of you, the want, actually transforms. The mind will start to decode another reality, the want of you, and it will open up manifestation. So the more people that really allow, you don't even have to create it yet, just allow that want to come through of what you truly want, and let the magic happen. People don't allow the want through because they believe they're not going to get it, but just allow the magic to happen, because it's also our connection to the physical reality, and also the mental side, our physical reality connecting each other with each other. And it's also, so what I see is more want coming through, and people expressing more of that. I also see that dark reality. So the reality that we're moving away from is getting, so people aren't affected in the same way because they're living in their own light and they're living in where they can see that dark reality of what's going on, if it's the Epsteins, the politics, all those things, but they're not affected in the same way. And people are like, oh, that people aren't reacting. But when you're in your own energy, it's gone anyway. So it's like the two realities are there anyway. You may dip into the other reality, but if you want to, but stay in your own reality, stay in the light, and that light will bring in more wisdom, more joy. And I ask, okay, so there's going to be a breakage, and I see a break. So I see a lot of people falling in the dark, like loads of people falling. They're falling anyway, but there's going to be an overpowering of light, and that overpowering of light blinds them. And so people are just not listening to them. And then people concentrate on the light of themselves and the light of the planet that we live on. So there's going to be another big awakening that happens with people, same July time. And that awakening is like, what is this light? Mother Earth looks different. Mother Earth, the sky looks different. Things are clearer. It's like the energy of the plants and the trees become so pulsating, and that heartbeat that I see, hear, and feel, it's everywhere around us. And we know, oh, we live on a planet that's alive. We are alive. So a hypnotic energy that's been on the human race lifts in middle of this. Very close. Very, very close. Very close. Yeah.
That was
Interesting.
amazing.
Interesting. May I ask you a question? Just for you specifically because of the way you work. So, my work is all about embodiment because unless it's not just what I believe, it's my experience and what I have experienced with people I work with. We have a lot of information, downloads, whatever you want to call it, guides, angels, whatever people believe in, God, source, oneness. But unless it's actually embodied and we can live through it, then it just remains in the head. How do you help people? First of all, do you resonate with what I'm saying? Does it resonate with you?
Yeah, totally. We're here to embody the light of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How, in your practice, how do you help people embody? Because what I've noticed when I shifted from a lot of information, understanding shadows, helping people understand every nuance of their trauma, but until it actually becomes embodied, it just remains concept. And
This is where, sorry.
no, go ahead.
This is make people cry.
Go for it.
So,
Go for it.
so yeah, so the part of my role is poking people. It's healing, it's poking them. It's because the reason the light has been suppressed is emotional pain.
Yeah.
And to get that emotional pain out is to feel it through the body.
Now we're talking about the chills. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
that breaks down the mental programming, the survival.
Yeah.
So we can talk about the concepts and, but it's when people cry, that's when the real healing happens.
It's the release. Yeah. So, and I had an intuitive feeling that you and I were aligned, and not that we have to be, by the way, we don't have to, but I just kind of got a sense that, with everything that you're speaking, that at the end of the day, you likely help people embody, because we can't have all the information in the world until a concept becomes embodied. We can't live it. We just know about it. And what I've noticed, that it will be interesting for you to share how you work with your clients, because what I've noticed is when I moved from information to embodiment, a lot of people go like, oh, that's not for me, because it's uncomfortable. Not because in my work, not because they need to relive the trauma. In my work, they don't have to relive the trauma at all. They don't have to understand, but they do have to allow the feelings to move through. Because unless the body has a chance to move and transmute or alchemize, it just sits there. Mm-hmm. Do you resonate with that as well? So how do you how do you help your clients to embody? And what I've noticed, that the more I moved into embodiment, and Jenny and I talk about it often, a lot of people say they want healing, but actually they don't really want healing. What they want is relief. They want relief from what they're feeling, but they're not willing to go through the discomfort of reorganizing what makes them feel that in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be faced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with the mind will set up protection and boundaries, and I have to work with that to like break it down. Yeah, so to diffuse it, because that protection can be very strong, especially if the pain is very strong.
Absolutely.
But what I find is just expressing truth and the truth of the heart, and when they heal it, it's like they remember who they are. They remember what they're hiding from, and it's just beautiful, you know, the beauty of them. So if they've dampened their truth once, or they've dampened, it's just knowing the truth, then it's like, because if people are scared of themselves. So the way I read, I allow their energy to come to me and talk to me. So, and then I can look at their brain and how their brain is working. It's lots of different layers of frequencies that I work with. But it's usually, unless I've got a tough client that's very frightened and there's lots of protection that they have, I generally allow them to, because their deeper aspects of themselves is there because they do want to heal. There's some that maybe don't, but the deeper aspects of themselves do thrive that.
Yeah. And I'm going just to reiterate what you said at the very beginning, which you said the word, it's foundational. And I believe that 100%, 1,000,000%. In order for a person to face themselves, they have to feel safe. In order to feel the things they didn't feel safe to feel, they have to have an environment where that safety is there so that their body can go, and then things can come up to the surface. And that's what you were saying at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's amazing, Becky. Thank you so much for sharing everything. For people that want to find you online, where's the best place to find you? And tell us what you offer, and there's your upcoming seminars. Tell us everything.
I have a website called findthelight-rb.com, and on there, I'm just doing my last class, my last seminar this Sunday, but another one would be up at the end of the year. I have Patreon, which you're on, so I do Q&As on there every couple of weeks. I do one-to-ones. I do big healing groups. So like on a Monday, I'm about 27 people, like one after another, bang, bang, bang. And then I do, what else do I do? I think that's it. Train people. So I do a level 1, level 2, and a level 3. So there's like a continue. I'm a busy lady. Yeah, it's busy. People love it, you know. So it's just, yeah, I love it too. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
well, it shows. It shows.
Oh yeah, your work is very deep, but it's also like a very simple, like it's a very simple message, but we've forgotten. Like we've just forgotten, all of us. And I think that it's okay for us to admit that, like that's where we're at now, instead of saying, "Oh, I knew all along" or whatever. But I love how you don't judge. You're not a judgmental
That's the
teacher
safety.
at all. Yeah,
That's the safety.
you definitely provide a safe environment for all of us.
Yeah. I often say this work is simple, but it's not easy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like me helping people, and you're probably the same. It's a continuous work on yourself as well.
Oh, of course, 100%.
Like nonstop. Nonstop.
Always.
So if you're with somebody who's helping you and they're not helping themselves, I would definitely leave, because you're not going to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's like responsibility. And I find that people teach me so much. That, you know, they're my teachers as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not just one-sided. It's like this lovely balance. So they come and show me. It's like, oh, I get over something within myself. If it's a people pleasing or something happens, you know, where I conquer something, I get stronger in something, and then array of people come who are struggling with that. So then I've got the knowledge and the understanding.
Of course.
Yeah, amazing how it works.
Totally.
It's like mind blowing how that works. It's like, and they could have booked the appointments months ago. So it's just so beautiful how we all work symbolically. Like, I don't even realize it.
Yeah, same experiences for me. Yeah. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, Jenny.
So happy to have you on. Thank you. Okay, and find Becky online. She's amazing. She is on Instagram too sometimes.
That's right.
How much YouTube?
What is your handle on Instagram?
What is my
Your
Find the Light.
Find the light.
Find the light.
Okay. So everybody go to her
Go
Instagram.
find the light, everyone.
Yes. Yes. Go
Yeah,
find the light.
the light.
That's right. Beautiful. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Let us know in the comments how this resonated with you. And maybe you had some aha moments. It would be wonderful to hear. And we look forward to seeing and hearing from you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.